Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how I make my spring daffodils. They're flat backed so they can be sewn onto anything if you're going to be making an Easter basket or perhaps a wreath. And they're really quick and simple to do. I always make my petals first and then attach on this little flute here. So it's really simple to do the two colours if you choose, but for this tutorial I'm just going to use the one colour. So we'll get started. How I get started is I make a magic ring and I chain 2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 5 US double crochets into this magic ring. So that's yarn over and through the ring, yarn over and pull that yarn through, and then yarn over, pull your yarn through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 again. And that's my first double crochet there. And then just go ahead and do the next 4 to make that 5 into the ring. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this magic ring closed and then do my slip stitch and these initial chains here. So at this point what I'm going to do then is I'm going to chain 7. So it's 1, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I'm then going to slip stitch all the way back down, missing this first loop closest to my hook. So I go into the second one and slip stitch. Okay, when I get to the bottom here, I'm going to then slip stitch into the first loop on the ring. Oops. And now, in that same stitch that I've just slip stitched into, I want to do a single crochet. For my single crochet, I want to do a chain 6. And then the same again, I want to slip stitch all the way back down, starting from the second loop from my hook. The reason why you don't need to chain 7 is because you've just done your single crochet at the bottom, so that counts as your first chain. So now that I'm at that, I can show you how you would slip stitch into that. So this is my single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch into the side of it. And then slip stitch into the next loop on my ring, and then a single crochet, followed by the 6. Chains again and slip stitch down. We're going to do that all the way around this ring. Okay, so now that you have done your 6 pillars here, you're back round to the end here, and we'll have this last little loop that I would like you to just slip stitch through. So at this point I'm going to cut off my tail because it does start to get in the way. Now this is where it starts to get really quite fiddly. But each of these is what's going to become our little petal. So it does look a bit obscured right now, but it's going to work out to have these little petals on. So first of all, you want to slip stitch into the bottom of this pillar. And then you're going to yarn over and go into this bottom loop and do a half double. So that was yarn over, pull it through, and then yarn over and pull through all of the loops. Then you're going to do 3 double crochets, and then 1 half double, and then 1 single on this last loop. Then if you chain 2, and then in the first of these 2 chains, if you slip stitch through. Then go back into the top on the other side and do a single crochet, then a half double crochet, followed by your 3 double crochets, and then you should have one last loop at the bottom to do another half double. At this point you then have 1 loop in between your current pillar and your next pillar if you do a slip stitch into that. And that makes your first little leaf. So you just continue this all the way around on every leaf. So that's a half double into the bottom, followed by 3 doubles, a half double, and then a single on the top, and then chain 2, slip stitch in the first of your 2 chains, and back to your single on the top of your pillar, a half double, 3 doubles, And finally your half double. Then a slip stitch in between the two pillars. So if you just want to go on ahead and continue with the rest of your petals, we'll catch up when you finish those. Okay, so now that you've finished all your petals, what you just do is I then attach it into the back here and pull my yarn through at the back so that it can have a nice long tail, and you can use that to sew this against anything that you wish to sew it against. At this point, if you want to change colours, it's really easy to do so, as it's the same process, because you would always cut your yarn free at this point and continue on from here. So you can change the colours quite easily. I am not, however, I'm going to continue on with the same. So I'm going to do my slip knot on my hook at this point, and I would then go, if you can see in your first initial magic ring, there's going to be little pillars on each side of it. So there's one little hole, another little hole. There should be 5 of those the whole way around. So you can just then put your hook between them, so but underneath them from the front, and then pull your yarn through and do a single crochet. So that just helps attach you there. You can then just continue to go through each of these loops doing a single crochet. Okay, when you get to this last one, if you just slip stitch into your first single. This can be quite fiddly and difficult to find, particularly if you have done the same colours. So this will be quite small at first, but we're going to build up from here. So at this point I would then turn so that I'm working on the outsides, and I would chain one, and I would just chain one, single crochet the whole way around this loop. And then slip stitch that closed again. Now this time we're going to widen it so that it doesn't stay small and closed like that. So if you do your chain one and then single crochet 2 into this first loop, and then single crochet 1 into the next, and then just keep going on doing 2, then 1 till you're back around to the other side. So you could stop there if you choose, if that's tall enough for you, if that you thought that that was okay, or that's just the look there. I'm going to cut that free, or you can continue on like I'm going to make one additional row, which makes it just a little bit wider again. So we're going to do the same thing again, where we're going to do one chain, and then this time do 1 into the first and 2 into the second. Continue on with your 1, 2 single crochets the whole way around. Okay, and then slip stitch that closed again. Alright, so now I'll just cut the yarn free, yarn over and pull it through, and then you just use a little downy needle to sew that in at the back there, and that is your little daffodil complete. So you can choose to have it sat up a bit, or you can have it rolled out if you choose. But I think that it just looks better just sat up as it is, and it's got a nice depth away from the petals. And then, like I say, that could be sewn on to anything that you choose. So there you go, that is how you make this nice, quick and simple daffodil. If you thought that this tutorial was useful, then please give it a wee thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, where you'll find more tutorials coming, hopefully once a week. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.